Hi, my name is Pop. I'm making a video in Ubuntu Basics showing how you can edit and read ODT and RTF files on an Android phone. OpenOffice and LibreOffice normally save their files in their native file format called ODT for Writer and ODS for Spreadsheet. And you can read these files on your Android phone with a program called OpenOffice Document Reader. And these files can be read, but they cannot be edited. If you go to the trouble of saving your files as RTF in the Writer program, you can read and edit those files on your Android phone with another program called Think Free Write. OpenOffice Reader and Think Free Write both are available on the Android phone as free app downloads in the App Center, and the Android App Center is called the Play Store. If you tap on any RTF file while in Dropbox or Ubuntu One, the phone will open it with Think Free Write, and you can edit and save. If you tap on any ODT file while in Dropbox or Ubuntu One, the phone will open it with OpenOffice Reader, and you can read it, but you cannot edit. Both programs make use of autoflow, and you can resize the fonts. You can send the files on your computer to the Android phone via Dropbox or Ubuntu One. And they're leapfrogging each other, and one day Ubuntu One is ahead of Dropbox, and the next day Dropbox ahead of Ubuntu One. Dropbox was first, and for that reason it seems to be a little bit better sophisticated. There is another cloud computer put out by Microsoft called SkyDrive that does not work so hot with Android phones or Ubuntu. There is another cloud program put out by Apple called iCloud, and same thing, it doesn't work so good. But you can use either Dropbox or Ubuntu One equally well with an Android phone and your Ubuntu computer. I'm going to use Control-Alt right arrow, and here I have got my phone turned sideways on the desk, and I'm looking at it with my webcam. And since it's sideways on the desk, it's righted itself so that it reads correctly. And over here on the right, you've got these icons. You can see that normally are off screen, but they're lit up. I want to draw your attention to this one right here. That corresponds to the escape key, and you use that most frequently. There are 5 icons along, well, it's normally the bottom, now it's the right hand side, and these are in a strip. The top one here is Dropbox. This one in the center right here is your App Store, and your App Store, when you press on it, now that shows everything I've got loaded. And up here it says Play Store. When you tap on that, you can get all of these programs for free, and as soon as you download them, they'll show up here. And the ones that we're talking about are Ubuntu One, and that would be under U, alphabetical. Here's Ubuntu One right here, and then Dropbox is going to be further to the top. It's in D. There it is at the very bottom right here. Let me get it up a little bit more. And then the 2 programs that I am talking about where you can read and edit, one of them is under O for OpenOffice, MN, OpenOffice Document Reader right here, and the other one is going to be T for Think Free Write, Think Free Office. Now you can press down on these icons and make them appear when you escape out of here on your screen over here. And right here I've got Think Free Office. Now if I tap on Think Free Office, it will show my Ubuntu One folder, and I can open up the files that way. Or I can go up here to Ubuntu One, open it up, and find the files there. There are so many different ways to open these things up. Let me just go ahead and tap on Ubuntu One right now. And it takes a minute. There's Ubuntu One. And when I tap on that, it shows everything I've loaded to my cloud. And use copies, whatever you do. Let me find something. Actually, these are ODT files. ODT files I cannot edit. And when I tap on an ODT file, it's going to open up automatically, not with ThinkFree, but rather with OpenOffice Document Reader. And OpenOffice Document Reader is just a reader. Over to the right, you've got a bunch of, it's a file deal where you can look up the files. Now, if you turn the phone 90 degrees, that vanishes, and it turns into a regular reader in this direction. And you can make the fonts bigger, and it's got automatic flow. And if you tap down here, let's see, it's hard to see, bottom left, it says zoom, and it gets bigger and it flows automatically. Does a really good job. Okay, let me hit backspace or escape, and I'm going to get out of this. If I were now to go to an RTF file, any RTF file that I hit would then open up automatically with ThinkFree and ThinkFree. Let's see if I can get that to show better. Let me just tap it. There we go. Boy, it's bright. What's going on? It's supposed to be automatic focus here, folks. There we go. This will allow me to read, but it will not allow me to edit. No, wait a minute. I said it backwards. This one I can edit and read. RTF. Sorry about that. I'm concentrating on the camera. Now I'm escaping. And here now I've got my icons across the bottom because the phone is turned sideways. And now when I hit Dropbox, same deal. It's exactly the same. It pops right up. I'm going to now go Control Alt, left arrow. Wait a minute. Here I am. And this icon right here is Dropbox folder, also on the cloud. Let me get out of the cloud on my phone because it might confuse itself. And I can open these things up here on my computer. And when I do, it'll open up either as an RTF file or as an ODT file. And you can edit both on the computer. If I do this with Dropbox, the same thing occurs, except there you get it, System Preferences, and go down to Ubuntu One. Open up Ubuntu One, and it takes a second. First you get a splash screen, and then the splash screen will go away, and then you will see all of your files on the cloud. It just takes a second. Well, I say a second, it takes a couple of seconds apparently. It may well be that the thing is confused because I was just on it a moment ago on the phone, and I don't know if there's interference. I do know you can't use the same file simultaneously while on your computer and while on the phone. Well, pretty much that's all I got. My name is Pop. I thank you very much for watching. I have about 100 YouTube videos. Most of them are called Ubuntu Basics. This one I suppose could be called Android Basics and Ubuntu. In a few months, perhaps a year, don't know exactly when, phones will be available which will have HDMI output, and these phones will allow you to install Ubuntu directly on the phone and use Ubuntu instead of a laptop. And all you will need is an external monitor and a Bluetooth keyboard, and you will not need a laptop anymore. My name is Pop, and I thank you very much.